War in Europe, and we'd just like to share with you some of our World War II collection. So, let's start by having a look at our gas masks. So we have 2 World War II military gas masks at the back, and also one civilian gas mask here with its tin case. If you can see there's also some anti-gas ointment. Obviously it wasn't particularly comfortable to be wearing a gas mask for large periods of time, so the ointment was used to basically help and preserve people's skin a little bit. Here are some eye shields, which again were to protect your eyes from the gas. And I'd also like to show you this householder's first aid case. So it contained lint for dressing wounds, cotton wool for padding or dressing, triangular bandages which were used as arm slings, obviously safety pins, things like solution of iodine, so these would have been used at home for people to perform their own first aid. Now this is a plaque for freedom which was given to Trennock School basically to demonstrate how they had been raising funds for the Second World War effort in Salute the Soldier Week. To my right here we have some military uniforms, so I'll show you in a little more detail there. So this uniform is an ATS greatcoat and cap, and it was worn by Maureen Price during World War II. The Auxiliary Territorial Service was the women's branch of the British Army during the Second World War. And this is a Red Cross uniform, which was worn by Marjorie King of Sithney. And we also have some uniforms here which would have been worn by gentlemen military personnel. There we go. So this is a Defence Regulations important announcement about billeting. So I won't read the whole thing, but it says the government have announced that the dispersal of people in priority classes from certain large towns shall be put into immediate effect. So the area covered by Helston Town Council is a reception area to which some of these people are being brought. So billeting was basically the process of housing military personnel in places like private homes or non-military public buildings during the war. So this brings us to Mr. Jewell, who was originally from Porkellis, and he served with the Royal Scots Greys. He was known as a desert rat, that's what they were called with the Royal Scots Greys. So these are some of his medals. We've got the Africa Star, the France and Germany Star, a Defence Medal, and another War Medal. And some of you who may have visited the museum before might recognise the Bethlehem pasty, which was carved by Mr. Jewell in 1943 when he was serving in Bethlehem. And if you'd like to learn more about the Bethlehem pasty, we have another video on our YouTube channel which will explain a little more about it. Okay. So I'm just going to take you over here and show you some other objects in a little bit more detail. Right, so if you'll give me 1 second, I just need to put on a glove. Okay, so this is a flying helmet which was used in the Second World War, and it's just amazing to really think about what it might have seen during this time. We have also a Royal Air Force service and release book for a Mr. W.R. Phillips of Monigue Street. And this is his lifetime membership card for the Royal Air Forces Association. Okay, I'm just going to pop you down whilst I get on my glove 1 second. This is very nice preparation. sorry, quick. So you may not have heard of RAF Pradanich. So it was an Air Force kind of base or an airfield built in 1941, just a couple of miles south of Mullion. So you can see some pictures here. So I like that it says the common grouse of the newcomer to the camp is that Pradanich is so far from everywhere. There are no large towns in the vicinity with the amenities and comforts of the modern world, and off-duty hours cannot be made quite as bright and cheerful as one might wish. Now, this object is incredibly important to us. It has quite a sad story. So it was found on a German airman whose body was washed up at Gunwallow, and he was never identified, and this was really the last thing that was really found of him. So it's a tiny copper crucifix. And finally here we have a ration book, which is a child's ration book, and we can have a brief peek inside. So you can just have a look at what it says. It's got soap points. And obviously food wasn't the only thing that was rationed during the Second World War. So this is a clothing book, and it contains coupons which people would have used to be able to kind of buy clothing. Okay. So that is all from us at the Museum of Cornish Life. Please join us again tomorrow, where we're going to be showing you how to make World War II paper aeroplanes. But for the time being, please take care.